The weather's especially nice.
Oh, what's this, you ask?
Hydration.
Good word.
Thank you.
My
I
new
got a
mug.
degree.
I'm so glad you asked about it. You know what it says?
What does it say?
Nerds rule.
Do you think that's true, or?
I know I rule and I'm a nerd, so nerds rule.
Good argument. No logical fallacies in there that I could pick at. Well, yeah.
I need to start the video soon. Stop drinking from these mugs. It's kind of addicting.
Stop drinking from these mugs of awesome.
I'd like to drink my nerd juice here. Not like the people. I'm talking about like the candy.
No, we mash nerds up in our basement and drink them. It's what makes us retain our youth.
It made me think of it. Oh no. We smashed nerds in our basement.
Like that. That's the sound they make too. It's good.
Yeah.
Hello! So, this week on Sibling Synergy, we're going to be playing Surgeon Simulator. The name pretty much explains itself. I feel it's a simulator of being a surgeon. It's supposed to be a pretty good one. I think I recall, actually, there was this guy who had played so much Surgeon Simulator that at some point he was put into this, like, tragic life or death situation where this person needed some operation or procedure, and he actually managed to perform it simply because he had played so much Surgeon Simulator. That's true. It's a true story. I actually remember my professor was trying to talk about video games in a philosophy paper, and he was like, well, Jaka, what do you know about this? So, like, I just went out to the internet, and this was, like, on a top 10 list of reasons to play video games, you know, besides spatial reasoning and entertainment. You might save someone's life.
I played I'm just gonna make up something. I played Call of Duty so much that now I'm great at
That's what people say. That's, I mean, a negative that's usually thrown against video games is they will make you violent, but they also might make you a semi-decent, acceptable surgeon. Who could say?
If you play Iron Bread, for instance, then you learn how you can act as being a piece of bread.
Well, that's that.
That's the wrap.
So, Surgeon Simulator. The worst controls I have ever seen. Bar none. This includes all old systems we used to have. Really bad indie games.
Why? But I like that it made it so it was like positioned on like the keys, so it was like the shape of your hand.
I disliked the
So you just press your
keys
pinky
chosen.
and move the pinky. So you just press the.
Nah, I and also the hold it down mechanic, like, it just makes your hand sore if you have to hold something down that long. Like, I had the same problem playing Prototype with you have to hold it down, the space bar down to jump, and, like, by the end of a play session, like, my entire hand would just be
I only do that if it's like I have
pain,
to
agony.
move my pinky a lot. Because, like, if you, like, shift, for instance.
Yeah.
Like,
That, too.
Sometimes this, like, hand will just go numb when I'm playing the game.
Yeah. Well, in this, it was, like, it just made my hand sore. And it was just a terrible mechanic for trying to pick anything up. Like, you just hold this down. And I think these are terrible controls. Like, let's leave aside the fact this doesn't seem at all like a real surgery. Like, you just can't, like, half the time was just us trying and trying and trying to pick things up. Like, that's not entertaining for us to do. I can't imagine it's entertaining to watch, except as, oh my gosh, like, how much they can't do this thing. Like, it's just awful. Just terrible control design.
I saw later in the game you can, like, operate on an alien,
Hmm.
which is cool.
That's cool.
There's like blue blood splitting out.
Although, I imagine you're still using the same controls, so...
Yeah.
That's not great to me. The art was fine. I liked the little Team Fortress 2 tape or whatever that they had.
I don't know. We just like picked up the phone.
Yeah, that was... All of that was, I mean, fine. It was funny. But it was also a precursor to the fact that I was like, if these controls don't change in surgery... Like, I feel like I was trying to operate, like, using a German sausage as my hand. Like, just a really large sausage that I'm, like, trying to bang on things to pick
5
them
sausages.
up. And the mechanic of having needles laying around to, like, cause you to hallucinate if you knock them to the ground makes 0 sense.
I wonder if you went like this and you could do that.
Maybe, but I just don't think it's so unnecessary in a game that's already so poorly designed and makes so little sense. Like, no simulator of anything should include things that are not found in the real world.
I have a question.
Why
do you think people like it so much?
I think they just think it's funny, and like the idea of being able to just pull lungs out of people and throw them to the side is just, and buzzsaw through a rib cage is just funny. So I think it also it just has that cult element of like, everybody's done it, therefore it is great and wonderful and ha ha ha. It's got like in comedy, like when they do like the person falls and that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's that form of humor. It's just on a video for a simulator because it's like, oh ha ha, you messed up, oh ha ha. Like, it's just that, and like that humor has almost no appeal to me other than when it happens in real life. Like, if you right now fell out of the chair like broke underneath you, that would be funny to me. But seeing a simulation of that, not funny at me. I was like, this is stupid. Like, that person, the chair did not just like sporadically break. You broke the chair under the person.
Well, what did you think about the art?
It was blah, but not...
I thought it looked a little bit like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it had that style, but for some reason, I guess in this I would have preferred a little more detail, because I think that would be more interesting.
We turned the graphics down, right?
We did, but I'd seen it on high graphics, and I did not think the difference... Like, I'm talking about the detail of the organs, and the rib cage, and the buzzsaw, and, like, all of that, and even your own hand. I thought that would have been interesting, but...
Why aren't we wearing gloves?
Oh, yeah, germs aren't a thing, by the way. Bacteria, no big deal.
Chuck.
Yeah, I'm just throwing things to the side.
Who grows the rib cage?
Yeah.
We only need to get out the heart. Rip.
Yeah, which we never did, by the way. Bob was never given his heart.
He just had all.
We were in the end zone, and I dropped it off the side because...
That was a really good face palm moment.
Oh my gosh. So, no, do you think people should play this game?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think if you do good at it, then you have something to brag about.
I suppose. But I don't think that's enough to sort of, like, there's nothing really here worth your time, and it's just very frustrating. That's it. It's like how, like, I remember... Like, I think my father used to say, like, you should play diplomacy with a significant other. Never. You should never play Surgeon Simulator with anyone you even slightly care about, because it is sure to produce anger. If only because the controls are the absolute worst.
I'm trying to think of how could they have changed controls?
They just have to program, either you just pick, like, you know how in games... like Dishonored or Bioshock, you just hit E and you pick things up. Like, they either have to do something closer to that, where it's just you hover your hand and then you hit a button.
That would be sort of like on nearly all the controls.
Yes, it would.
Then it would become super easy too, though.
Or they need to program it so that it does not have 5 fingers when, like, and also, like, this was the weird part, like, trying to pick a lung up, like, this is vaguely long-ish shaped in that sense of being circular. Like, this is most of what's used to pick something up dexterously. And instead, they're like, oh, you need all 5 fingers. So, like, we're trying to pick a buzzsaw up. And, like, this is the part that's going to pick a buzzsaw up. The rest is just securing it.
Yeah.
And so, like, but those fingers would get in the way, and it just, you'd have to find a way to either program out those or just program the entire hands to do something at once. I don't know. But it's bad.
Okay, from 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
2? And I'm only giving them 1 point because I liked their Team Fortress 2 thing. It's just purely bad.
Why?
Because you can't, like, just because you have a game, like a long game, where you can operate on an alien, right? That doesn't, if your mechanics are bad to begin with, like, you just have a bad game. But it's a long bad game. It's like if you had a 6-hour movie that was just atrocious from start to finish, but you're like, well, if you can watch it, then that's pretty amazing. And you're like, well, it's terrible. Why would anyone want to? That's how I feel about this game. Why would anyone want to play this game other than that it's like a huge underground sort of hit? There's no reason.
That's true.
It has janky controls, below average graphics, and really nothing exceptional to recommend it. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching.
Like, subscribe, and comment down below because we want to hear what you say.
Yep. And we'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.